Hello. After learning Python virtual environments, it is time for us to write our first Flask app. So let us do it. I am opening a terminal and let us switch to the desktop directory. Let us now create a folder, call it Flask app. You can see the folder has been created. Let us go inside the folder. Now we are inside the folder. Let us create a virtual environment in this folder. Let us call that folder virtual env. It will take some time, as you know. It has been created in this folder. You can see the folder here. Let us activate the virtual environment in this folder. The bracket has appeared. It means we are inside the virtual folder. Let us go to the Flask documentation website and write the trivial app. So here is the code for our Flask minimal application. Let us copy, paste this in our folder. Let us call this file app.py, and I am going to directly paste it here. I should also add this line of code. So now the Flask code for the minimal Flask has been written. Let us run it. This will be run as any Python program is run. Let me first see. We are in. Yes, this is the Python script which I am running. Now there is an error. It says module not found error. This means we have to install Flask library in our virtual environment. For that I am using pip. Pip, I told you, is the Python package manager, which is used to install Python packages, manage conflict between them, and uninstall them, list them, etc. So now it has been installed. Let us again run. Now it is running, as you can see. Let us go to this address in our browser. You can see our hello world Flask has been successfully launched on this IP address, that is 127.0.0.1:5000. This 5000 is the port number. Before we go further, I would like you pay some attention on this thing. Dear friend, this is a server. Server are the entities which receive HTTP requests from the clients, and in return it also gives them HTTP message. What I am talking about can be illustrated from this picture. You can see this is the basic infrastructure of the internet. There lies a server which are connected by one or more clients. These clients are connected to server via some connection, and the server and clients talk to each other through HTTP message. and what these HTTP messages are. Let us see. HTTP messages are packet structured texts. This means the client sends to server structured text packet, and in return the server does the same. HTTP servers come in two flavors. One which the client sent to the server, it is the blue one, and the response HTTP message which the server sends to the client. HTTP messages look like these two. The first line contains the HTTP verb, path URL, and HTTP version in the request HTTP message which the client sent to the server. Response HTTP message are the message which the server sends to the client. It is also structured like thus. HTTP 1 is the version number, 200 is the status code, OK is the phrase, reason phrase. It is so called. Let us try to understand it more clearly. It is the request HTTP message which is sent by the client to the server. It is made of some line. The first line I would like to draw your attention to. The first entry is get. It is called HTTP verb. And the second entry is called the resource path. It tells the server where to look for the resource which the client is asking. And the third entry is the HTTP version number. The request HTTP message can have so many options at the place of verb. These include get, which you see here. It may also include post, delete, put. These have specific meanings which the server understands. This is a post HTTP request message. You can see the get is replaced by post. The specialty of post is that it carries with itself some payload which is intended for the server. The server will make use of this information somehow. It is styled or formatted in JSON format, and it is a post HTTP request. It will go to the server, and in return the server will send a HTTP message like this. The first line and the first entry is the version number as it was included in the request HTTP message. The second is the status code, and the third is the reason phrase. It will also include a body in which the server sent the data for the client. Here it is HTML code. Now our Flask server is also will communicate via HTTP messages. Let us hit it with HTTP request and let us see how it behaves. When we type this URL in the browser, what we are doing is essentially sending a GET message, a GET HTTP message to the server, and the server replied with a HTTP response. This is less visible in the browser. Let us use another client, a command line client called curl. Let us hit this URL with curl with the V option. You can see via curl we can see the whole HTTP message which has been exchanged between the server and the client. The client sent this HTTP message to the server, and in response the server sent this HTTP message to the client. So this is the way communication happens between server and client. No matter what is the client? It will always use HTTP messages to talk to and get the resources from the server. Now, let us go back to our Flask code. Here, let us modify this code to clarify something. I am adding methods to this route. Now, if I save it, you can see the Flask server has been restarted itself. Now, let us again hit this IP address with our browser and see what happens. Now you see there is an error, method not allowed. Why that is so? Because this route which is only a forward slash is accepting request only via post method, and the browser by default send a get request. That is why there will be an error. To run this function on this route, you must send a HTTP request of the post type. Let us do just that with our curl command. Now let us hit the IP with the post method. Now you see there is no error and the Flask app returned it an HTTP which body consists of this. Now let us run this again with the V option, and it is saying that post is not allowed. Now you can see the HTTP which the client sent to the server and the HTTP message with which the server replied to the client. But there is something wrong with this code. We are not supposed to use post for this kind of request. When we only want to get some resource from the server, we should use get method. It is because it is the convention of the HTTP messages. Now if we again send a message, there will be no error because this route is accepting HTTP request of get method. You can check there are specific meaning to the HTTP verbs. You can see we use post when we want to create an entry on the server. We use the get verb when we just want to read or retrieve some information from the server. The put or patch verb are used to update some entries on the server, and the delete verb is used to delete some entries on the server. Together, these four verbs are used to create RESTful APIs, which I will talk in the next video. I hope with this video you understood what is a web server and how the clients talk to it via HTTP messages, and how the HTTP message look like, and especially the HTTP verb and what do they mean. One little point I must add: of the HTTP codes which the server include in the response HTTP messages. These codes implies what happened on the server in response to a request. I mean, if this is your server and I want to reach a route which actually doesn't exist, then I will get an error. Suppose I want to reach a route /cat which is not on our code. This should result in an error from the server. You can see the server returned a HTTP message which has the status code 404. It means the resource is not available on the server. But if I modify our code such that it includes a route named cat which accept request of get type, then 404 error would not occur. Let us now hit our server on that route. Now you see the server has responded with 200 status code, which means everything is fine, and we got what we intended to got because we imputed the /cat route in our app. Let us see what the HTTP status code are and what do they mean. So these are the briefly HTTP code and what do they mean. If the server return a HTTP code 200, it means everything has gone normally, and if it returns 301, it means the resource has been moved permanently. Later we will see more use of this status code when we use the fetch API in our app. So I hope you understand the nature of web servers and their mechanism with HTTP messages. Thank you very much. Have a great day.